Okay, so we have a test tomorrow over surface area. You can get a parent signature. Keep in mind you do need to make sure you are shading the base and you are writing your formulas. Some of these it's easier to do with a net, so you're just going to show me the formula you use for the different pieces. Here we have the lateral surface area, and we know that labeling is in fact lateral, but you need to pay attention to the fact that it says 8 soup cans. Formula for lateral surface area is 2 pi RH. So we're going to plug in 2 times 3.14. We do have a radius here of 2.5. And we have a height of 4, and then I'm going to go ahead and put 8 here because this is my cans. So when I plug this into the calculator, I get 502.4 inches squared. Now, this one is much easier to do in the calculator with the formula than it is to do with the net. Number 2, our surface area. This does not specify, so it will be total. Okay, the formula for total is pH plus 2 big B. So I'm going to go ahead and shade my base. Now because this is total, it doesn't actually matter which base you use. I'm going to draw my base shape separately for P and big B. My dimensions are in fact 16 and 6. So 16 plus 6 is 22 times 2 is 44. 16 times 6 is 96. So now I can plug my numbers in. 44 times 5 plus 2 times 96. 44 times 5 is 220. 2 times 96 is 192. So when I add those together, I get a total surface area of 412 meters squared. Number 3, my base shape is in fact a triangle. Please be careful on the triangles. We always forget to divide by 2. It doesn't specify, so again, it is going to be total. And I'm going to draw that base shape out. I have 10, 24, and I do in fact have 26, where 36 is my height. So when I add 26, 24, and 10, I get a perimeter of 60. Base times height divided by 2 is going to give me my big B, so 24 times 10 divided by 2 is essentially 12 times 10, which is 120. So 60 times 36 plus 2 times 120. 60 times 36 is 2,160 plus 240 gives me a total of 2,400 square centimeters. Number 4, you can do either with the net or you can use with the formula. I will show you both. The base in fact is a square, so the area is 36. This is also 6, so our base times height divided by 2, if you're going to use the net, is 12 times 6 divided by 2. Well, 6 divided by 2 is 6. So all of these lateral pieces are in fact 36. So I can do 36 times 5, which is 180 square centimeters. If you choose to use the formula, please remember it is different. It is 1/2 PL plus big B. So where this 12 is in fact my lateral, so I can draw out my base shape, which is 6 by 6. So my perimeter, 6 plus 6 is 12, or 6 times 4, you can do that, is 24. Big B, 6 times 6 is 36. So 1/2 times 24. My lateral was in fact 12 plus a big B of 36. Because we are still doing total. Half of 24 is 12, so 144 plus 36 is also 180 square centimeters. It does not matter which way you do it, but you have to make sure that you're showing me your work, you're showing me a formula, you're plugging in numbers on your test if you want to get full credit. Number 5, we have a net, and they actually, because this is lateral, they've given you the shaded piece already. That is important because on a rectangular prism, you need to know what the base is. So you can do this a couple of ways. We know that both of these sides are 3. These are 7s. This 10 will go here. So you can find the area of all of these pieces. And you could add them up because it is in fact the lateral. So we could say 70 times 2 plus 21 times 2. to get a total of 182 inches squared. If you wish to use the formula, you could just say pH. Well, the perimeter of my base shape, which is 10 by 3, so 13 times 2 is 26, times 7, which is my height, is also 182 inches squared. So again, it doesn't matter which way you do it, just show me all your work. The net for the candy bar, so the base shape is a triangle. Again, guys, please, please, please be careful on the triangles. We keep forgetting to divide by 2. You can find the area of each piece. 12 times 5.2 on this one is going to be 62.4. And it says, what is the lateral? So I could, for lateral, 62.4 plus 36, and plus 36 is going to be 134.4 square centimeters. If you wanted to find the total, this is base times height divided by 2. So we would have 2 times 5.2 divided by 2, which is just 5.2. So if I wanted plus 2 big B, so I could say 5.2 plus 5.2 is 10.4. And when I add those, my total will be 144.8 centimeters squared. You could also use the formula if you wanted, pH plus 2 big B, where your P is going to be, you need to realize that we have a 3 here and a 3 here. So when we draw our triangle, 3, 3, and 5.2. So our P is actually going to be 11.2 times our height of 12 plus 2. We already found big B earlier, which was 5.2. So again, 134.4, this is your lateral, plus the 10.4, again, gives you the total of 144.8. Now, number 7, you need to be very careful. This is a rectangular base. You are not going to be able to use a formula on this. That only works on a square base, or what we call a regular prism and pyramid. So you're going to have to find the area of all of these pieces, because your slant height is different on both sides. Okay, so we have 14, so you can say base times height divided by 2, so 14 times 5 divided by 2, 14 divided by 2 is 7, so this actually is 35, and this one would be 35. This one is going to be 11 and 15, so again, base times height divided by 2, 11 times 15 divided by 2 is going to be 82.5. Okay, and we're not going to decorate the bottom, so we are looking for a lateral here. So I can say 82.5 plus 82.5 plus 35 plus 35, and when I do that, I get 235 centimeters squared. All right, on the back, on the last page, we talked in class about painting, right? We're only going to paint the walls, so this is going to be lateral. So my base shape is actually going to be the ceiling and or the floor. So if I wanted to use my formula here, it's just going to be pH, where H is my 6 because this is 5 and this is 11. So my perimeter, 11 plus 5 is 16. 16 times 2 is 32. 32 times 6 is going to be 192 centimeters squared. We have a triangular prism again. So my base shape is the triangle. My height is going to be 10. 20 is actually here also because we have 2 base shapes. So when I do this, I can look for lateral, so PH. So P is going to be 12 plus 16 plus 20, which is 48. So 48 times 10 is 480 centimeters squared. And on the last one, I really feel like cylinders are the easiest because they give you that formula, but you do need to pay attention to the fact that this is a diameter and the radius is 6. So what is the measurement to the total surface area? So 2 pi RH, and this is on your formula chart, 2 pi r squared. So 2 times 3.14 times 6 times 15. If you leave that at 12, I promise you that is going to be an answer choice. Plus 2 times 3.14 times 6 times 6. So my lateral, when I put this in the calculator, is 565.2. My two bases are 226.08, and when I add those together, I get a total surface area of 791.28 inches squared. Let me know if you have any questions.